Hunger does something strange to your mind. It can make you angry at the world or it can make you hungry for the world. Welcome to the Path Without Borders. Today, we will learn the 4 key lessons about someone who took heavy emptiness from his childhood and carved it into a refusal to remain powerless and a decision to create his own abundance. At 17, he was expelled from sixth form. He dropped out of the university after one lecture. His first startup died while he was counting coins just to survive, and sometimes stealing food to get through the week. Today, Stephen Bartlett runs a media empire, invests in startups and reaches millions every week through the diary of a CEO. His podcast has passed 1 billion streams, and his holding company, Steven.com, has been valued around $425 million. He's gone from an empty fridge in Manchester to architecting what he calls a Disney of the creator economy. But what are the key principles that elevated once a broke kid with an empty fridge to become the face of a 425 million creator empire, and how will these lessons help you on your own path without borders? Let's dive in. Lesson number 1. He understood that where you start is not where you stay. From growing up as a little boy in Plymouth and watching his parents grind while the cupboard was still empty, to the young man later looking for coins and stealing food when his first company failed, those moments weren't motivational slogans, they were survival. Sometimes life starts with a no. No money, no role models, no relationships. No one who looks like you is doing what you dream of. But if you refuse to accept that starting point as your ending, something changes. You start moving differently. You start fighting for a life nobody planned for you. And then slowly you start winning. And then you win again. And then you can't stop winning. That is how life is sometimes. Lesson number 2. Misfit energy can be fuel if you stop waiting for permission. What do I mean by this? Stephen was labeled difficult and disengaged. He skipped classes to run vending deals at student events, got expelled, and then got unexpelled again. The same pattern showed up at the university. One lecture and boom, he dropped out. But here is the truth. Some people just don't fit the room they're given. School lectures student path they slide off. That mismatch can feel like a failure, but sometimes it is just early evidence that your learning style and your risk tolerance are built for a different game. Lesson number 3. Reinvention is a skill, not an accident. In Stephen's life, he pivoted from Warpath to Social Chain by studying what was actually working online. Later, when Social Chain had offices, 100 million plus valuation, and public listing on the way, he did something most people wouldn't even think about doing. He stepped down at age 27. That single decision opened the door to the second life. The Diary of a CEO as a full media engine, books, Dragon's Dance, and portfolio of tech and creator economy bets. You see, sometimes we talk about pivots like they are rare events, but in Stephen's life, reinvention is almost a routine. When something stops aligning, whether being a school, a startup, or even a successful company, he doesn't stay for comfort. He simply moves. Number 4, that is the last lesson. Fail fast, then move again. After dropping out of school, Stephen moved into a cheap house in Manchester with friends. In 2013, he launched Warpath. Basically, it was a gum tree for students. In reality, nobody really cared about that company. But failure has a way of leaving gifts behind, and that gave birth to Social Chain, making him his first million at the age of 23. The lesson here is that your first idea doesn't have to work. Your second idea doesn't also have to work. What matters is what you become while they are failing. The skill is not never fail. The skill is don't stay stuck. If you like this type of videos, hit the subscribe button and I'll see you next week.